a lawyer to understand the interpretation of the Constitution because it is written in simple English.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the word interpretation of the Constitution. But then listening to President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, he said what they will do when they get into power is sort of take the country through a referendum to try and create some of these positions. So do we need a referendum to come up with some of these positions?
The answer is no. We don't need a referendum. The current Constitution does provide. And I think those who need to acquaint themselves, I've just said 131, 132, and 155. Read together, it provides for that. We consulted the best lawyers in this country, those who are involved in the constitutional making, and even some of the lawyers from abroad. And whatever we've taken, even if we went to a court of law, it cannot be challenged because the president, under the Constitution, can reconfigure his government as he deems fit. But I think because they were not aware of the way we are going to configure our government, they are making some of the statements that I have seen them make. But it is really unfortunate that two guys that who have gone to school fail to understand common English. I would have expected them to understand basic English and also not to lie to Kenyans. We are not going to go to any referendum unless Kenyans did an audit of the Constitution and said certain parts ought to be restructured. But we are not going for the referendum for the sake of this power arrangement.
Kipkule, what are your thoughts?
Okay, thank you. I think personally, I feel that there's been a form of shortchanging of the positions of the new positions that have been created from Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula, and Isaac Ruto. Apart from the presidency and the deputy president, which are constitutionally recognized offices, which have protections and have real political powers, these other offices, even though there is a provision within the law and the constitution that they can be created at the behest of the executive, they really do not wield enough power, which will give the other principles, the three principles, enough clout to be able to function as political leaders. Rather, it will only reduce them to just mainly overglorified cabinet secretaries. So my...
Things have been shortchanged.
Yeah, I feel they have been shortchanged. What I was expecting was that in our new arrangement post-2012, after the election, where we got the Senate and the National Assembly, the positions of the majority leader in the National Assembly and at the Senate, and even the Speaker's position, have come out as very visible and powerful political positions, with which I thought that one of the principles or any of them will have at least made a bargain for them, because it will have given them enough leverage and significance and presence at the national level to be able to function. But for these ones, the two offices minus portfolios, they really look like appendages of the executive, but minus a lot of power, and unless, of course, they are given the office plus a cabinet secretary, a department within the state to be able to function. Otherwise, you'll be idle all the time.
Mheshimiwa, is your party leader happy with the position that he's been given? Because I know he will be the Premier Cabinet Secretary in charge of government coordination.
Well, he's happy because it was something that was negotiated. And I do want to agree with him that possibly without any portfolio, those positions will be superfluous. But remember, we've said somebody from Mashinani will take the portfolio of devolution, and somebody from Fort Kenya will take the position of coordinating of government in terms of the economic subsector. And this, therefore, under my party leader, will be in charge of the entire cabinet in terms of coordination and internal security. So each one of them has a portfolio attached to the positions that have been named. Number two, it is also important for us to take cognizance of the fact that this is a collegial kind of arrangement where we agreed all of them could have run for presidency, but given the circumstances, there is only one seat for the president and one seat for the deputy president. And therefore, the others is that we want to go as a team and go on the platform that we are delivering. Something I wanted to clarify, the one for Isaac Ruto is not for Isaac Ruto, it's for Mashinani. Chama cha Mashinani. The governor of Bomet is going to run for that particular seat of governor of Bomet. But it is up to Mashinani to donate somebody either from within Kericho or any part of the country, as long as he comes from CCM.
So the governor will still run to defend his seat.
Yes.
And then CCM will give someone
Yes.
now who can take up that position.
Yes, that is the position, and it needs to be clarified, because when I became deputy party leader of ANC, some people thought I was the running mate to Musalia. I'm running for Senate Trans Nzoia. So these are positions that have been created for the purposes of ensuring there is inclusivity in the new government structure.
Okay.
Because that is something that is lacking, while it is enshrined in the Constitution that every part of Kenya must feel part of government. And that is what we're doing.
Okay. So, Mheshimiwa, you're part of the quote-unquote kitchen cabinet that came up with this. You're aware of